And Alexander Ramos saw your first shoot interview with me where you told the story of Ole and Gene Anderson, the experience you had with them kind of roughing you up in the training. He wanted to know if you think it was okay what they did to you, considering the way wrestling was at the time. And he also wanted to know what your opinion is of the stretching that Eddie Graham used to do to potential wrestlers with Bob Roop and some of the other guys stretching wrestlers.
Um, how can I? Because I do say this all the time too, and it applies to this interview and what I'm about to say. One, I'm responsible for everything I say, but I'm not responsible for what people understand. Okay, let's make it clear. I do not condone in any way, nor have I ever done it. I don't condone bullying. But I understand why Ole and Gene did what they did back then. And because still to this day, this is a very tough, physically, very tough business, but it's even tougher mentally and emotionally. And you have to understand, one of the biggest shifts in the paradigm of professional wrestling is that the majority of the professional wrestlers that are in the business now don't make a living off of it. Back then, the majority of the wrestlers that were in the professional wrestling business made a living off of it. And it was their only means of a living. Okay. And they knew the value and the importance of how much it was to keep what they were selling. And that was the belief that it was real, that it was hard. Okay. And, they wanted to make it as physically and emotionally challenging and mentally challenging on the people that wanted to try to get in, to have them go out and be a commercial where they go out and go, hey, you think that stuff's fake? Man, this is what I had to do. And I didn't even get in. Look at the bruises. Look at, the broken nose, the black eyes. That helped keep that mystique about it. But it also protected the business, because how many people does it take to ruin that illusion that you've spent so much time crafting? One guy. That's all it takes to destroy everything you've built. So they're going to make sure every step of the way that you're not going to be that one guy. Protecting the business was never kayfabe. That wasn't protecting the business. Protecting the business was not letting just anyone get in it. That was what was protecting the business. And if your livelihood, your sole means of making a living, and especially an amazingly good living, even back then, and if you don't believe me, listen to Cornette's podcast, and he'll give you the numbers. Where this also big popular misconception that wrestlers only made money now is insane. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing.
The top ones make more money now, but overall there was more wrestlers making a living back then, right?
A really, really, really good living. Like healthy living. Like you can do what you want living. So, that's the case. And if you had that situation, what would you do to ensure that it stayed the same way? And again, I'm not condoning bullying. I experienced it. I legitimately mean this. Like, there are a lot of people that are in the wrestling business right now that would never have made it 38 years ago. That's the truth, right? Because you had to go through so much to get in. Then you had to do so much to earn your spot in the locker room, not your spot on the card, your spot in the locker room. And not just bent physically, mentally, emotionally. They would twist you up every day, push you. And if you, God forbid, if you ever sold, because that was like putting blood in the water, and they were like sharks. You had no allies. They would just swarm on you and they would eat you alive. That's the truth. And then you had to make it through all of that. Then you had to earn your spot on the card. Then every night you had to keep putting, and you had to earn their respect. You were never given anything. And I truly believe that a large part of the degradation of the art of professional wrestling is in direct relationship to how accessible it is for everybody now.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.